So, quick and dirty run through on Druid. Skill rotations, utility, applications, trade line interactions. Not in super detail, but usable and enough to pick up and understanding what you need to do. Little disclaimer, as always, take everything what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not Druid main. I'm not a healer main. I only will tell you what I know on the perspective of someone who plays this game way too much, and out of commander perspective. So we start very simple. What is the job of a druid? The rule is healer, as expected. Your job is to make HP bar go up and condition bar go away and disappear. So heal, cleansing. In combination with that, you're spamming a good amount of CCs and immobs. Some are more reliable, applicable, and some are, you rather not. So overall, the build which I'm having here right now, in comparison to what we're running in the lines, the only difference that there is I'm running double stun break with the Secret of Renewal and Protect Me, while the build in the lines is running Glyph of Alignment. The only difference here is you have another heal and cleanse inside CA and another immob. We don't care about anything else here outside of CA. You would only use this inside of CA, your Celestial Avatar. Why am I running double Signet? Double stun break. First of all, I have a personal stun. I have a two group stun breaks, but I can prioritize Protect Me as personal and the glyph as group stun break, especially since the glyph is also giving resistance not only to me but also to allies. Should also be working on random players since it's it grants resistance to me and my pet. It's very nice to get yourself out of bad situation, to keep your pet running, because what the Signet also does is it soaks all conditions from 5 allies, including you. So you plus 4 allies onto itself, and it's a massive cleanse. You may sell your pet's HP bar with that, but that's okay. For the pure fact, it just helps overall. So I prefer this set of utilities. The whole trade lines and builds is the same. We are running the stealth when exiting Celestial Avatar. We are running the reduced cooldown of Celestial Avatar when exiting after healing someone, and also plus healing increase. The Condi cleanse on activating CA, and then the normal double spirit slam, the Warhorn skill, Warhorn skill use gives regeneration, and everything else is pretty standard. So how is everything interacting? Of course, we have to look at Aurelic Carcosa, which is going to be the highest healing which you are going to pump out. Carcosa is up to, I don't know what are average percentages, but I would say it's a minimum of like 30 to 40% of your overall healing. Second is going to be regeneration, and then everything else. So how is everything working? You have to always put yourself into the perspective, how many are we, what comp are we playing, and what is the enemy doing. To put this in a general direction of how you're playing, this is important as healer is to understand when is damage gonna be incoming, when do I have to cleanse, and when do I have to heal. If we are with squad here and enemy is standing roughly over there, which is, if we look at it, roughly 1200, a little bit more, this is 1200, and we are sitting in this area. This is already the distance where you should get focused and locked in. for the simple reason everything from here till roughly here, so 900 away from the enemy, is where things can start hitting you, things can start damaging you, and also pumping conditions on you. Especially in nowadays meta where everything is playing a lot more range orientated, there's always going to be free casting Evoker, or maybe free casting DH, free casting Warrior. So having an eye open on your party perspective, you always want to be in party view. In your party perspective, like, is there conditions coming? How are the boons looking? Can I do something? Is very important. So this is the first thing which I want to give you on the hand. Like, understand that as soon as you reach 1200, and even before a little already, that you need to start focusing up and look at your screen actively to not miss the timing of when to go here. Generally, if we look at what does what, you want to, of course, best in case, you prioritize blasting water fields for the increased healing, but blasting any field is going to be your prioritization. Generally, if we are in fight, there's always going to be fields on your feet which are going to allow you to blast, but you also have to know what your own fields are to make your life easier. Staff 4 is a field, can blast that one. Skill 1, the trap, when that triggers, is a field, can blast that one. You have, I don't know if Spirit counts as field. No, Spirit is a blaster, so you can also double blast with Frost Spirit, which we're gonna come to later anyhow. You blast your own field in CA. You have a field, a healing field on 4, which you can interact with other druids. You cannot blast it yourself effectively. I'm pretty sure you can time it with your skill 3 in CA to be able to blast it yourself, but I'm pretty certain no one does that. And then of course blasting any of the other fields around, from the guardians, the light fields, if there's an element that is putting down any of the other fields. As long as you keep blasting, you're going to be pumping healing, and that's what it comes down to. And then of course prioritizations of which skill comes first, which skill comes second. Generally, if you want to have an opener on hand, I can give you the following. You start on turtle, we go 1200 range, we go towards the enemy. Somewhere on the end towards the enemy, you pop the hunger down skill of your turtle, which is the bubble, the projectile spam, somewhere on 900, just to give that extra projectile block, to give that protection. Then you cast your stuff 4 on top of the enemy, like, of course, all in sequence. You're gonna be a little bit closer at this point. And now it comes to the point, you cast Frost Spirit, you cast 5 ahead, and you go with a 3 in that as soon as we reach the enemy. I would say this is one of the more solid openers, which I see a lot of other druids as well. I could be wrong here as well, as I said, take it with a grain of salt, but that's what I would be doing. I would also make sure that the Frost Spirit is put on top of my stuff 5, and again, you want to make sure that you do all of what I explained with enough range in front of the enemy. And yeah, also on top of that, make sure that you always have 1 DPS in your target in a party, and that you 1-1-1 that, just for the pet healing, to keep them alive. You can also spam stuff 2 to keep them alive. And it's also going to make it easier to understand your positioning, since you want to be behind the, not behind the group, behind is also wrong, but more in the back line of the squad, since you want to live, you want to do your job. It's also going to help you because you're going to need to be in front of the target to actually 1-on-1 it. Like, if I go in front of my turtle, it's not going to let me 1-on-1. Like, my turtle is behind me, I'm spending 1-on-1, it doesn't do it, only when it's in front of me. So that's a good indicator to understand that you're in the right positioning. Though that's so far for the opener, to put that together in words. You cast a bubble on 900, you put down 5 Frost Spirit, go into that with 3, gonna get the double blast on, like, this is gonna be roughly 600, this is gonna be the first bit of healing. And now we come to the important timing. You are gonna go into CA as soon as you start the first few condies coming in. This could be on this range to enemy squad, this could be on this range to enemy squad, it does not matter. You look at your condi bar, and you, as soon as you see conditions lining up, like especially burning, bleeding, everything which needs to be applied in a somewhat shorter range, this is the timing where you go into CA. And what you're doing in CA is very simple. You're going inside, you go 3 and then 2 on top of each other to blast each other, instantly into 4. While you're in 4, you can cast another 2. You come out of 4 and you just spam 1-1 a little, and then again 3 and 2. You want to get a minimum of 2 combos into your CA, so 2 times 3 on top of 2. If you get more, that's very good. If you get less, that's bad. You should aim for 2. We are going for the 4 first, or I would go for the 4 first, purely out of the fact it's a pulsing heal. We just did cleanse with going in and pressing 3 and 2, so there should be no big condis on top of our allies. If there are more condis, then we can always press Signet of Renewal. That also works while being inside the CA4 cast. But the CA4 cast is gonna be pumping healing around you. And specifically it's a water field, so if there's any Druid late, or if there's any Paragon using Warhorn skills, which is also gonna happen in that range, or any Staff skills, like Staff 2 for example on Paragon, if any of the Guardians is gonna put down skill 2 on their feet while pushing in, or any other sort of blast, or even a well finisher, which is then gonna be healing bolts, the healing field is just gonna give you the best interaction. Yeah, the CA4 in that sense, the best interaction with your squad. And you also need to understand you're going into CA in the moment where condis are applying. It might not be the perfect range for any big healing as well, but just keep in mind you want to go into CA the moment that condis are lining up, because that's the moment where damage is going to start to line up. So going into CA early is better than going into CA late. Doing something early as a healer is always better than doing something late as a healer. Of course, the more precise you are, the better it's going to be, and you cannot be too early as well, but it gives you a good understanding of when to use things. And let's be honest, playing Druid is learning by doing anyhow. I can talk as much as I want right now. You need to be learning it while doing it. When we are through the first CA, the staff skills should be ready again, roughly, which gives you then the opportunity to, of course, put the 2 on top of the target, press 5 and 5 and 3, and maybe put an immob up. But most importantly, you need to think about, okay, I'm using those cooldowns right now. How fast is my CA recharging? Is my CA full? Yes. Back into CA. Is my CA not full? Weapon swap, and we go with weapons on Mace Warhorn. Skills on Mace Warhorn are a lot more tricky to use successfully, because it's melee weapons without real targeting. You can spam 2 on your feet, which is going to be healing and give regeneration. 5 is going to give boons and it's blast, so if you have a field under your feet, you can blast that with 5. That's going to be fine. Warhorn 4 does nothing else than giving regeneration. The damage is whatever. And now we come to the most difficult skills. A lot of druids are skipping this. I would definitely not. Mace 3 is a movement skill. It has a CC. What's a movement skill? What is a movement skill known for? Yeah, letting you jump into the enemy. And that's exactly what we not want. So either you are good in movement and you can about face Mace 3 away from the enemy, or you have to flick your camera left, right, and use it into, yeah, away from the enemy, essentially. If you find yourself looking into this direction, but then still jumping this way, make sure that you have no enemy targeted, because this skill is targeted, and it will let you jump on top of the enemy that you have in scope, and it will make you jump into the enemy group and essentially will make you die. Now, that was a lot of dry talking right now. To put this together in a few words, for like the whole run through and the whole priority system. Staff skills preemptively when we're going towards the enemy, specifically 5 Frost Spirit 3, and then essentially you can go for Vine Search if you have the time, but focus on those 3 skills. If we are close to the enemy or damage and condis are starting to line up, we go into CA, and we want to get a 3-2 on our feet, go into 4. During the 4, cast another 2. Wait until the cooldowns are back. During the wait of cooldowns, spam 1-1, and then get another 3-2 on top of your feet. And from there on is loop your blasts on top of each other, like 3 on top of your 5, or 3 on top of your 1, 5 and 3 on top of any of the fields, but be careful with 3. Spam 2 on feet. If you need more cleanses, don't hesitate to swap pet and use Shake It Off on your bear. But now comes the thing which is separating good druids from average druids. Understanding how spirit works. Let's look closely at spirit first, so we understand how the spirit works. He slams once, this revives enemies. This revives enemies. Every time the big boy stomps the ground, it's gonna get 5 allies up. Or is it 5? No, it's gonna get 2 allies up. No, it is 5. Is it 5? No, it's 2 for the revive. 2 for the revive. I wasn't wrong. So 2 for the revive on the first blast, and 2 on the revive on the second blast. Because it is essentially gonna blast twice, since we have the trade line. How are we using this effectively? It's an insta-res. It's not an HP recovery in downset, it's an insta-res. Spirit, it can be casted preemptively on a push, but you need to look at HP bars, and you need to roughly know how much damage enemy is going to be doing. Or it's going to be put down on a bunker situation where you're going to expect people to die. Casting Spirit when people are already downstat works unreliably. If you only cast your Spirit whenever you see a downstat, then you need to start learning, understanding what's happening in front of you. Every rest utility in this game has to happen preemptively, as good as we can, for the pure fact, cleave, and if we're even going to hit those targets, it's going to be so difficult as soon as targets are already in downstats. So just keep this in mind. So, I hope I did cover everything, and I hope that this at least gave everyone a jump into, yeah, how to use the class, what to do, and what to pick up. To put everything into a short summary, blast fields whenever you need the big healing. Go into CA whenever there's a condi load up on top of yourself and you're finding yourself on top of a push. Like a good indicator for the start could also be going into CA whenever you hear well push. Leaving CA early only if necessary, because it's going to stealth allies and help you on the kite. But for the beginning, try to use as much out of your CA as you can. And I'm pretty sure that this was as good of a sum up as it could be. If I did miss something, let me know. Or hit it up in the comments, hit me up on Discord. I'm gonna put everything in the description of the video to do either of them. And I hope that this did help, and that we're gonna get some more Druid gamers sooner or later. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.